So a couple days ago, I recorded a video where I went back to NHL 17 and rebuilt the Toronto Maple Leafs with Austin Matthews in his rookie year. And then the team I built, I carried over the next 6 games to see how many Stanley Cups we would win. And now it's time to do something similar, but I'm doing it with the Vegas Golden Knights now. They just won a Stanley Cup, so I'm going all the way back to their expansion year, and I'm going to see if I can win them a few more. And also, I forgot this the last time I did this, but I have to give a massive shout to King of the Fourth Quarter for inspiring this video. I saw him do this with NBA 2K. He's the GOAT. I can't believe I forgot to shout him out last time. But real talk, shout out to King of the Fourth Quarter. He inspired this video. Dude's the GOAT. Nothing else needs to be said. So basically, the team I build here, I'm going to bring to every single NHL game, and we're going to see if we can win a Stanley Cup. And right now, because the Vegas Golden Knights hadn't made any trades, we still have Nick Suzuki on the team, Brandstrom, and Cody Glass. Cody Glass and Brandstrom are both going to be traded, but I'm going to be holding on to Nick Suzuki because we already know how he develops. And we also have some great pieces here in William Karlsson, Alex Tuck, Jonathan Marchessault, Shea Theodore. I'm going to be holding on to all these guys. But James Neal, yeah, I'm packing you up real quick. Looking at the Arizona Coyotes and Anaheim Ducks, I wasn't really interested in anyone on that team. But on the Boston Bruins, I am interested in Torrey Krug. He doesn't have the highest trade value in the world, but he does develop into an 85, 86 overall, so he could be a solid defenseman for us in the future, so I'll keep my eye on him. Moving on to the Buffalo Sabres, there's 2 guys I'm looking at. One of them's Sam Reinhart, and the other guy's in between the pipes for this team, and that's going to be Linus Ullmark. This dude has backup potential, basically no trade value whatsoever. He won't be a solid goaltender for us until the final 2 or 3 games, but realistically at that trade value, he's definitely worth it, so I'll try to bring him onto the team. So the first trade I'm making is Haig, Lipsick, and a 3rd round pick over to the Buffalo Sabres for Sam Reinhart and Ullmark. This trade's getting accepted, and we're off to a great start. Sweet proposal on their end. Might have got finesse, not gonna lie. Yeah, you hate to see it, you really do. Not the greatest start to this video, but hey, we'll move. Looking at the Calgary Flames, there's 2 guys here that basically have no trade value whatsoever. Shillington and Mangiapane. I'll probably bring them onto the team. I'm not really sure if they'll make the team once we get to the later games, but at this trade value, I can probably get both of these guys for a 6th round pick, so I'm definitely not going to say no to that. Also, before I do this trade, I do want to mention I'm starting up my 2nd channel again, Puck Drop. The link will be down in the description for that. Once I hit 1,000 subs, I'll upload my first video over there. We're about 150 away, so if you want to see content that's hockey related, then definitely go check that out. Alright, I'm trading Jones. I actually have no clue who this dude is. Is it Ben Jones? I just feel like it's Ben Jones. I just knew that. B. Jones. It just had to be Ben Jones. Proposed this trade. They're saying no to that. Not really surprised there. Let's add a pick. Probably a 7th or something. Alright, we're adding a 7th rounder right after they said no to this. They're still saying no. Fine, I'll give you a 6th round pick. Does that really make the difference? We'll say no to a 7th, but we'll say yes to a 6th. Okay, they're also saying no to that. We're going back to the drawing board here. So here's the new package we're sending over to the Calgary Flames. They're going to be accepting that. So now we have Shillington and Mangiapane onto the team. We now have Shillington and Mangiapane onto the team. Great grammar stick on the ice. You're doing a fantastic job right now. So of course, the Carolina Hurricanes, they have a ton of guys of value on this team, but I'm just not willing to give up all these assets just to pick up one of these players. So we'll move on from them for now. Similar to the Carolina Hurricanes, the Chicago Blackhawks are in a similar situation here. I wouldn't mind bringing DeBrincat onto the team, and he doesn't have the highest trade value in the world. I take that back. We might make a move for him, but not yet because I want to see who else is available. And this is a perfect example of why we wait. Samuel Girard, top 6D, medium potential. Yeah, this dude's got no trade value. We already know what he becomes. Yeah, we're making a move here, and we're gonna get a steal. So Cody Eakin and Clayton Stoner over to the Colorado Avalanche for Samuel Girard. I'm actually shocked they said no to that. I'm pretty sure we're offering them more trade value. That's neither here nor there. Let's add a pick to this deal. So I've added a 6th rounder to the deal. That should be enough to get it done, but it doesn't look like it. Fine, you want a 5th then? Does a 5th really make the difference? Actually, I'll give you a 4th. I'll splurge for Samuel Girard. Okay. Actually, I haven't even been paying attention. Maybe they just don't want to take on all the contracts. That could be the problem. Okay, here's our new deal. Cody Eakin, Jake LeSession, a 4th rounder and a 6th rounder over to the Colorado Avalanche for Samuel Girard. Let me bring him to the team. I gotta sweeten the value just a touch, huh? Yeah, screw me, why don't you? Is a 7th rounder gonna make the difference here? Of course it is. Why wouldn't a 7th rounder make the difference in this trade? Because the Colorado Avalanche clearly just want a 7th round pick to make this deal done. Yeah, because I mean, if I didn't offer them that 7th rounder, they're not making this deal. So I wouldn't mind making this trade again, bringing Pierre-Luc Dubois into the team, but I did that in the Austin Matthews video, and I don't really want to bring him back onto the team once again. Okay, I'm doing whatever I can to bring him onto the team. This is an absolute steal. Jason Robertson. And Rupe Hintz is also here. So that could be the move. Wait, Jake Ottinger was also drafted. Is he available here? Hold on. Okay, he's not available. I was going to say Rupe Hintz, Jake Ottinger, Jason Robertson, Miro Heiskanen. That could have been the move. Okay, never mind. There's not a chance we're bringing Miro Heiskanen onto the team. I'm not making that deal. I don't even think I could possibly make that deal. But Rupe Hintz and Jason Robertson, I can definitely make this work somehow. We just got to figure out how. Cody Glass and Jason Garrison for Rupe Hintz and Jason Robertson. Ain't no way we just did that. Also, did I just get finessed? I mean, obviously I didn't get finessed. I got Jason Robertson and Rupe Hintz for whoever I just traded. Yeah, we're cooking out here. So we're just getting steal after steal right now. Tyler Bertuzzi, I'm bringing you on. I don't even know if you'll crack the roster by the end of this video, but look at your trade value. That's an easy deal for us. Clayton Stoner straight up for Tyler Bertuzzi. If we got that deal done, I would have lost my mind. So instead of offering Stoner, we'll send them Griffin Reinhart and get the deal done. Now, I'm not really too sure if he'll be cheering in the streets after this deal gets done. It doesn't age too well, to say the least. Now, I know I literally said a couple minutes ago that I didn't want to bring Pierre-Luc Dubois back onto the team because I didn't want to repeat a bunch of players. Yeah, so I'm going to take that back. Philip Deneau, you're coming to the Vegas Golden Knights. So we're going to be doing a 1-for-1 here. Riley Smith for Philip Deneau straight up. Nothing else in the deal. It's getting accepted. Philip Deneau, welcome to the Vegas Golden Knights. So one of our issues with the team so far is I'm currently building for the future. And when I say the future, I mean NHL 23. And we're going to keep with that trend because Jesper Bratt, I'm trading for you. This is going to be a steal of a deal. Nah, but real talk, I got to bring in some players that can actually play in NHL 18. Because right now we have a team of 80 overalls. So I'm going to package up Nate Schmidt along with a 3rd round pick. And I'm going to send it over to the New Jersey Devils for Jesper Bratt and a 5th round pick. Hopefully that's enough and it's not... Oh, wow. Wow, okay. I just cut myself off mid-sentence. I did not think they were actually going to accept this deal. I thought I was going to have to take the 5th rounder out. Now I'm thinking I probably could have got a 4th. Or literally just done Nate Schmidt straight up for Jesper Bratt. Sometimes you make a good move and sometimes you don't. But this was a good move because we know what Jesper Bratt becomes. So I'm going to build the rest of our defensive core from the New York Islanders. And we're literally just going to bring in 3 defensemen. The first one, Ryan Pollock. The second one, where is he? Devon Toews is here somewhere. Here he is. AHL high top 2 potential. Yeah, I can definitely live with that. And at the very bottom of this list, Adam Pelech. So all 3 of these guys are going to come to the team, and basically that's going to be the rest of our defensive core. Wow, okay. I wasn't doing the voiceover because I did not expect them to accept this. Who did I just trade? Wait, who did I trade? Did I actually make a mistake here? Hold on. Did I screw this up? Who did I trade? Yeah, John Merle. I traded John Merle for Pollock, Devon Toews, and Adam Pelech. I'm pretty sure they had more trade value than me. A win is a win is a win is a win. We'll take it. Looking at the Rangers, I would love to bring Mika Zibanejad onto the team, but his trade value is just a little too high for me. But I can live with Chris Kreider. He's an 83 overall. He can immediately jump into the lineup. That's who we're going to trade for. Unless I can't get Zibanejad. We'll come back to that one though. Okay, so we're going to try this trade out. A 1st rounder, Brandstrom, and William Carrier over to the New York Rangers for Chris Kreider and Mika Zibanejad. I'm not really shocked that they said no to this, but I actually feel like we're headed somewhere. So I'm going to add a 2nd round to this deal and see if that's enough to get it done. We're a little off the table here, but I think we can get something to work. So here we go. A 1st rounder, Brandstrom, William Carrier, 2 2nd round picks over to the New York Rangers for Chris Kreider and Mika Zibanejad. They're saying no to this deal. That's not what I expected. All right, let's reevaluate things here. This is basically the last attempt. I'm adding Malcolm Subban to the deal instead of William Carrier. Is that enough? They're saying no to that, so we're going to have to move on from Mika Zibanejad and Chris Kreider. Okay, I'm just going to try to trade for them one by one. So Mika Zibanejad, a 1st rounder, and Brandstrom. They're saying no to that. I'll add a 2nd to the deal and we'll see what happens. So here we go. I've added a 2nd to the deal and they're accepting that. All right, we got Mika Zibanejad. Now let's bring in Chris Kreider. So Malcolm Subban and William Carrier over to the New York Rangers for Chris Kreider. They're saying no to that deal, but we're not too far off. So are you telling me if I had 6 spots to add assets, I would have got this deal done? I don't want to add a 2nd to the deal. I'll give them a 2020 3rd round pick. That'll be enough to get it done. Yeah. Chris Kreider and Mika Zibanejad onto the team in 2 separate trades because why would I be able to make this deal in one? So another guy that could immediately jump into the team that also still develops in the future is Jake Guentzel. He's an 83 overall already at 22 years old. And he's definitely an upgrade from what we have here. Okay, now this deal doesn't make sense from a trade value standpoint, but I'm taking on Carl Hagelin's deal and I think that might help us get this done. Yeah, because I feel like he'll lower the trade value because he has such a bad contract and I might be able to steal a 2nd rounder. Doesn't look like it, so James Neal straight up Jake Guentzel. Give me this deal. I mean, I also took on Carl Hagelin, but yeah. I just wanted Jake Guentzel. That's all I cared about. This is mad disrespectful and I will not stand for it. Robert Thomas, I'm sorry I have to take you away from the St. Louis Blues, but it just has to be done. Vince Dunn, you also have low trade value. Where's Jordan Kyrou? I know for a fact he has none. Yeah. Jordan Kyrou, Robert Thomas, Vince Dunn. You're all coming to the Vegas Golden Knights. Now that's just ridiculous. Top 9 potential. He should have franchise. Ain't no way you're disrespecting my mans like that. So here we go. All these guys for Robert Thomas, Vince Dunn, and Jordan Kyrou. They're saying no. Of course they are. Doug Armstrong, he's a very smart man. He would never accept a deal like that. Okay, we'll just add a 4th rounder there and deal is done. Oh, Dougie. I see that you're cooking here. You understand the value that these players have. I respect it. I'm going to give you a second rounder just because I'm trying to get this deal done. And I don't have any third rounders available. Actually, we're going to 2021. Give me a third rounder. There we go. Third round pick. That's 4 years away. It doesn't matter. I took away a fifth round pick. I'm not surprised this deal didn't get done. I'll add the fifth rounder. Is this enough? No. All right then. I didn't want to have to do this, but it looks like I will. Second rounder. We're getting finessed here. It doesn't matter. I brought the 3 GOATs onto the team. Well, I mean 1 GOAT and 2 solid players. Robert Thomas, you're the captain now. So Tomas Hertl is another guy that develops. He's an 82 overall at this point. 81, 83. He's an 82. All right. We got that straight. I can probably bring him onto the team here with the few assets I do have left. Then again, once I'm going through this team, I realize I built way too far for the future. We have a ton of guys here that are just like 70 overalls. They develop great, but they're not ready for the team right now. So here's the deal we're going with. I'm saying this all over. They're going to say no to that. I'll take away a third round pick. Is this enough to get the deal done? It is. Tomas Hertl, welcome to the Vegas Golden Knights. Okay, hear me out. This is a terrible contract. What assets can I get for taking on this awful contract? Because right now Vegas has unlimited cap space. We basically have like 27 million to work with. What can I get for taking on this awful contract? So this has the potential to go down as one of the biggest finesses of all time. I have no clue whether or not they'll accept this deal or not. They're saying no, so I'll take away 1 third round pick. So 2 second rounders. They're going to say no to that. Can I get a second and a third maybe? Because if I can take on his contract for 2 picks, that would be massive for us. They're going to say no. Can I turn a fifth into a second? They're still saying no to that. All right, my strategy failed. All right, we're going to try something else. A fifth rounder in exchange for a third and a fourth. That's still not enough. Can I literally just turn the fifth into a third? Give me something here. All right, there we go. We turned the fifth into a third. We can work with that. So this is what the new look Vegas Golden Knights are looking like. And respectfully, this team is absolutely cooked in the first year. I built this team for every year except for this season, because our top guy here is an 85 overall Mika Zibanejad. This is what our defense looks like, with the best guy here being Braden McNabb. I got a signed Braden McNabb jersey. I'm not going to complain about him leading the team here, but this just ain't it. And in between the pipes, I have no issue with Marc-Andre Fleury leading the way for us. He stays around 85, 86 overall for the rest of his career, so he can hold it down for us. And once Ullmark takes over, we got a solid goaltending tandem. And then we still have a few guys in the system that are going to develop. Of course, we have Tyler Bertuzzi here, Rupe Hintz. I know Jason Robertson's down there somewhere. Robert Thomas, Devon Taves, Shillington, Matt Japani, all these guys I can't forget about. Jordan Kyrou, Nick Suzuki, Robert Thomas, of course, the GOAT. Just look at this man. I knew he was going to be the GOAT from day one. I always believed in him. But enough messing around. Let's go ahead and simulate through the season and hopefully win 20 games. Yeah, this team's not winning a Stanley Cup in year 1. We're not even getting close to the playoffs. So I knew Vegas wouldn't be good this season. 35, 39, 8. We're 28th in the entire league. But how were we better than 4 teams? Our defense literally consisted of 180 overall and everyone else was below that. I'm pretty sure Adam Pelech was like a 74 overall. Ain't no way we did better than 4 teams. Nobody had a good season by any stretch, but Sam Reinhart's still going to lead the way with 17 goals and 40 assists for 57 points. Meanwhile, in between the pipes, Marc-Andre Fleury wasn't really that bad. 31 wins with a 909 save percentage and 285 goals against. I can live with those numbers. And Ullmark for a 75 overall, those numbers are actually better than what I expected. In the conference finals, we would see 3 Canadian teams. And then in the Stanley Cup final, it's going to be an all-Canadian matchup, but the Edmonton Oilers are going to be coming out on top in a 4-1 victory over the Ottawa Senators. So now that we've finished up with this game, it's time to transfer all these players over to NHL 19. Heading into NHL 19, our team's going to be seeing improvements across the board. Our first line is going to consist of 386 overalls now. The top 6 is looking amazing, while the bottom 6, I'm definitely not going to complain about what we have here. Defensively, we're still looking pretty weak here, but the guys continue to improve. But over the next 4 games, our defense is going to be one of the best in the entire league. Meanwhile, in between the pipes, we're going to see Marc-Andre Fleury gain a +3 overall boost, and Linus Ullmark, he's up to an 80 overall now, so it's only a matter of time before he takes the reins away. When the season came to an end, Vegas is looking absolutely fantastic with a 48, 28, and 6 record, but that's only good enough for 7th in the entire league. Now, I was going to say the defense was letting this team down, but we were actually the 3rd best in goals allowed per game. And when it comes to goals for per game, we were 2nd in the entire league. So how did we finish 7th? Nah, something's not adding up here. We didn't have one superstar carrying the way, but we did have even scoring throughout the entire lineup. And Jake Getzel, he's going to be the guy leading this team with 31 goals and 37 helpers for 68 points. Meanwhile, in between the pipes, we already know who our starting goaltender is. That's Marc-Andre Fleury. 41 wins, 8 shuts, a 925 save percentage, and 216 goals against. I think this team has a Stanley Cup in their future, and I think it's going to be this season. Before we reach the Stanley Cup final, though, we got to make quick work of the Vancouver Canucks. So normally how I would simulate the playoffs is I would jump into any game that goes into overtime or any elimination game. However, the last time I played NHL 19, every single time I tried to simulate a game after game 3, the game just crashed. So I'm gonna have to simulate the entire series. Ain't no way I just did that whole speech only for us to drop 4 straight games after winning the first 2. Ain't no way we just folded like that. But don't worry, the rest of the Stanley Cup playoffs are gonna be realistic, as we're gonna see the Toronto Maple Leafs taking down the Colorado Avalanche in 7 games. So I don't know who I'm blaming here. William Karlsson, 6 points in 6 games. It's definitely not your fault. Goaltending, Marc-Andre Fleury, your numbers weren't even awful. A 909 save percentage and a 267 goals against. Those aren't the worst in the world. This team just folded. Nothing else needs to be said. Let's move on to NHL 20. So here we are in NHL 20, and I'm going to keep it 1,000. I did a terrible job building this team. We have a ton of talent here. Like, a ton of talent. There's no question about that. The entire forward core is above an 82 overall. There's no issue here. The biggest issue we're running into is a lot of these guys don't develop till NHL 22. So like Roope Hintz, fantastic player, but he doesn't become like an 85, 86 overall till NHL 22. Knowing my luck, he probably becomes an 85 overall in the next game, but that's neither here nor there. Defensively, all these guys continue to improve, but the defensive core is still not looking great. I mean, Devon Taves, he becomes an absolute stud. So is Samuel Girard. We got Pollock here and Adam Pelech still in the system. It's a good defensive core, but they're just too young and they haven't developed yet. But the one position that's definitely not a question mark for this team is the goaltending situation. Marc-Andre Fleury and Linus Ullmark, they're holding it down so far, and I've got no issues with them. So with all the players developing on our team, we got worse. I don't even know how that's possible. 44, 29, and 9, 8th in the entire league. What's going on here? Like, by rights, I drafted all these young players. They should develop. We know they develop because a bunch of them are studs in the NHL right now. But here we are, 8th in the entire league. We weren't scoring as many goals this season, and we were allowing more goals. I think I built a terrible team. Ain't no way. Okay, I'm actually going to take back everything I just said. Our main issue is nobody on this team wants to put the puck in the back of the net. Jake Getzel once again is leading the team in points with 68. Marchessault has 62. William Karlsson 61. Perron 56. Somebody score more goals here. Like, yeah, we might not have a bunch of elite goal scorers, but someone pick up at least 30 goals. Like, Marchessault and Karlsson led the team with 26 goals each. I mean, we had great scoring depth. Like, countless players are picking up over 10 goals, but even still, Chris Kreider, 21 points. You're kidding me, right? You hate to see it. You really do. You don't really need to go over the goaltending numbers because Fleury and Ullmark are holding it down like usual. These are the only 2 guys that haven't let me down so far in this video. Everyone else is just a complete disappointment. But don't worry, because I'm giving them another chance to disappoint me as we're taking on the Anaheim Ducks in the first round. I feel a sweep coming, but I'm not going to mention for which team. So we've already dropped game 1 and we're heading into game 2. We had a 2-0 lead heading into the 3rd period, but this team's going to collapse, so we're going to need some overtime. Halfway into overtime, Vegas is on the power play and Alex Tuch's got the puck at the top of the zone, and I'm going to keep it 1,000. Bro, what were you thinking when you took this shot? It might have ended up in the back of the net, but honestly, what were you thinking? And after taking that one, Vegas is going to dominate the rest of the series, and they're taking Anaheim down 4-2. Moving on over to the second round, we're going to be taking on the Edmonton Oilers. Okay, so we just need to watch this entire sequence right here. I don't know what Vegas is thinking whatsoever, but they're not going to throw a puck on the empty net. They have countless opportunities, but nah. Let's not shoot the puck into the empty net when we're in the offensive zone. And what's going to happen after that? Connor McDavid's going to take the puck coast to coast, and then he's going to set up Yamamoto to bury this one, and it's a 1-goal game now. But luckily, Vegas is going to find a way to stop Edmonton's offense in the final seconds, and they're going to be completing the sweep over the Oilers. We've reached the conference finals, and we've got ourselves a tough task because now we have to take on the Colorado Avalanche. So things are looking pretty solid for Vegas right now. We're entering game 2 with a 1-0 series lead, but now we're headed to overtime and a 3-3 tie. Colorado's going to be bringing the puck into the offensive zone 7 minutes into overtime. Some incredible passing from the Colorado Avalanche is going to find Gabriel Landeskog. He's going to one-time this up into the back of the net, and Colorado's evened up the series. But the series isn't going to stay tied for too long because Vegas is going to dominate over the next 3 games, and they're going to be taking down the Colorado Avalanche in a 5-game series. So here we are in the Stanley Cup final, and we have the perfect matchup, the Washington Capitals. This is working out absolutely perfect for the Vegas Golden Knights. They're going to get a chance at a rematch, and they're also getting a chance at revenge. It's time for us to defeat the Washington Capitals and get our first Stanley Cup. After falling down 2-1 in this series, we're going to be entering overtime in game 4 in a 1-1 tie. 7.5 minutes into overtime, Vegas is on the power play, and they're going to show off some nice passing, finding Roope Hintz on the left circle. He's going to one-time this up. He's beaten Braden Holtby, and the series is tied up at 2 games apiece. But after dropping game 5, we're headed into game 6 down 3-2 in the series. It's not going to take us too long to find our winner in overtime. Jake Getzel is going to body check Kuznetsov off along the boards, and then he's going to pick up the loose puck. He's going to skate down to the goal line. He's going to find Zibanejad on the doorstep. Zibanejad's going to put this one in the back of the net, and we're off to game 7. And to make game 7 a bit more entertaining, we're going to need a bit of overtime. The Vegas Golden Knights are going to have the puck in the offensive zone, and they're going to show off some incredible passing. Jake Getzel is going to be found wide open in front of the goaltender. He's going to beat Braden Holtby, and he's going to be winning Vegas their first Stanley Cup. And on top of Jake Getzel scoring that that overtime winner. He's also going to be taking home the Conn Smythe as he's picking up 16 goals and 16 assists for 32 points. But we all know these numbers aren't right, because in reality, he picked up 8 goals and 17 assists for 25 points. But a quick shout out to Marc-Andre Fleury, our Stanley Cup winning goaltender. You love to see it, you really do. Moving on to NHL 21, expectations for the team are much higher. Our lowest overall in the forward core is Jordan Kyrou, and he's an 83, so realistically, we should have no weaknesses on the offensive front. Defensively, it's still taking these guys a while to develop, but we're still looking not too bad. Shea Theodore's leading the way at an 86 overall, and the lowest overall is Vince Dunn at an 82. I can definitely live with the defensive core we have here. And in between the pipes, of course, Fleury and Allmark, keep doing what you guys are doing. Alright, I'm going to take that back. I don't want you to keep doing what you're doing. I want everyone to flip the script here. 9th in the entire league, 46, 31, and 5. We should be much better than this. There's no excuses at this point. Tomas Hertl is going to lead the team with 66 points. Once again, no one is scoring over 30 goals. At some point, someone's got to pick up 82 points, right? 82 points, 82 games. It shouldn't be that difficult with the amount of talent we have on this team. Then again, look at all the 50-point scorers we have here. We might just have to live with the crazy amount of depth we have. Okay, Fleury, I need better numbers than this. 34 wins and 27 losses, 4 OT losses. You were barely over 500. We're trying to win a Stanley Cup here. I need you better than a 500 goaltender, and I definitely need you to step it up in this series. We have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. I mean, there's other players on the Edmonton Oilers, but those are the only two guys I'm worried about. So we had ourselves a 3-0 lead heading into the third period, and now we're headed to overtime. I can see the choke happening as we speak, and just 3.5 minutes into overtime, who would have saw this one coming? Edmonton's putting some pressure on the offensive front. They're going to bury this one in the back of the net, and they're taking game 1. Blowing a 3-0 lead and then allowing 4 unanswered, including the OT winner? No, that's not a good sign for this series. Okay, things are even worse than I thought. We're down 3-0 in the series and on the brink of getting swept. We just won a Stanley Cup in the last game. Ain't no way we get swept here, right? No, this is a joke, right? We just got swept with 20 some seconds left in overtime. You guys couldn't have just held off for like 25 more seconds, and then we would have went into double overtime. We could have made a last second push, but nah, we're gonna fold like that. Boston goes on to win the Stanley Cup. Congratulations. Yeah, we're moving right on from this. William Karlsson, 4 points. He was -3. The entire team was a complete disappointment, and here we are in NHL 22. No excuses anymore. Like, 0 excuses. I can't even think of one. We got Robert Thomas on the second line. He's ready to carry the way. The captain of the team. On the defensive end, we're looking incredible. I refuse to believe we're gonna lose with the offensive core we have, the amazing defense here, and then in between the pipes, Fleury and Allmark. 0 excuses. Like, none whatsoever. But even with all this talent, third in the entire league, 50, 23, and 9. The Winnipeg Jets were ahead of us. Nah, something ain't right here. This doesn't add up. So once again, we're not going to see anyone picking up 82 points. The closest is going to be Jason Robertson as he's picking up 66. And our top goal scorer, that's going to be Mika Zibanejad with 28 goals. Okay. Here's the new goal. 30 goals in one season from anyone, and then somebody picking up 82 points in 82 games. Also shout out to the GOAT Robert Thomas, 63 points, second on the team in scoring. He's that guy. Thankfully, Fleury's stepping it up this season. 41 wins, 6 shots, a 912 save percentage, and 259 goals against. It's time for us to go get another Stanley Cup. And luckily, we're not going to have to take on Edmonton in the first round. We have the Nashville Predators. It's not going to take too long before we need overtime, because that's where we're headed in game 1 in a 2-2 tie. Halfway into overtime, Chris Kreier is going to be cooking behind the net before finding Alex Tuch. Tuch's going to be able to break away from a defender before ripping this one past Saros, and Vegas is taking game 1. The rest of the series will be going back and forth the entire way, but Vegas is going to be able to take down Nashville in 6 games. Moving on to our next matchup, it's a rematch of the last games. We have to take on the Edmonton Oilers. But this time around, the Edmonton Oilers are going to be complete frauds. We're going to dominate them in game 5, 5-1, and we're taking them down in a 5-game series. After that dominant series from the Vegas Golden Knights, they're going to keep on rolling, and now they have the Colorado Avalanche in the conference finals. Heading into game 3 of the conference finals, we're currently tied 1-1 in the series, and now that we're tied 4-4 in game 3, we're going to need some overtime. With Vegas on the power play 5 minutes into overtime, Jordan Kyrou is going to find Nick Suzuki coming into the zone. Suzuki's going to work his way over to the slot before dishing over to David Perron, who's getting a shot off. Perron's shot's going to find a way to trickle past Darcy Kemper, and he's going to be ending this game, and Vegas is taking a 2-1 series lead. And after taking that 2-1 series lead, we're going to need overtime once again in game 4 as we're tied 2-2. In overtime, we're going to see the puck pinned against the boards, but Robert Thomas is going to find a way to pick that puck away. And then some nice passing from the Vegas Golden Knights is going to find Jake Getzel. He's going to score the game winner, and Vegas has got themselves a commanding 3-1 series lead. But it looks like we're going to need some more overtime games, because that's where we're headed back to in game 5, but this time Vegas is looking to end the series. And that's exactly what's happening, because Sam Reinhart's going to find Alex Tuch. He's going to get a shot towards the net, but Sam Reinhart's going to be right there for the rebound. He's going to put this one in the back of the net, and Vegas is off to the Stanley Cup final once again. So we've reached the Stanley Cup final once again, but there's 2 differences this time around. 1, Vegas is a much better team, and 2, we're taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets and not the Washington Capitals. And I think Vegas is ready to make quick work of this team. But maybe not, because we're currently down 1-0 in the series. We made a massive third period comeback, and now we're headed to overtime in game 2. And in overtime, Jordan Kyrou, he's proven to be that guy. A nice little deke's gonna be able to free up some space. He's getting a backhander off. I'm gonna be completely honest, I have no clue how Merzlikins isn't saving that, but it doesn't matter. We've evened up the series. And right after taking that overtime game, we're headed back to another one in game 3. Once again, the overtime winner is gonna be found pretty early in the game, as Patrick Laine is gonna be working his way towards the net. The defense is slowly gonna skate away from him because that makes so much sense. He's gonna bury his own rebound, and Columbus is taking game 3. After Columbus took a 2-1 series lead, Vegas is locking in as they're gonna win the next 2, so we're entering game 6 with Vegas having a 3-2 series lead. But halfway into overtime, Columbus is gonna be on the power play, and they're gonna take full advantage of that. Some nice passing is gonna find Boone Jenner wide open in front of the net. He's gonna bury this one, and we're off to game 7. But in game 7, when push came to shove, the Columbus Blue Jackets just wouldn't be able to match up against the Vegas Golden Knights. They're gonna dominate this one, taking it 5-2, and they're Stanley Cup champions once again. And to make this one even better, who's gonna be taking home the Conn Smythe? It's the GOAT, Robert Thomas. 11 goals, 6 assists, 17 points. He's our guy. And on top of that, he's also going to be the captain of this team, and he's going to be the first guy hoisting the Stanley Cup. I'm just going to say, I didn't make him the captain. EA just knew he had to be the guy leading this team. So after taking that Stanley Cup, we're moving on to the current NHL 23 game. This is what the forward core is looking like. Absolutely fantastic. Our weakest piece here is an 86 overall Marchessault and an 86 overall Chris Kreider. Nah, this team should go 82-0, respectfully. The defense is absolutely elite. Literally no weaknesses whatsoever. And in between the pipes, a 90 overall Allmark and an 86 overall Marc-Andre Fleury. The only thing that's going to be stopping this team is this team. Don't choke. Okay, nah, this is actually ridiculous. Second in the entire league, 53, 25, and 4. Look at all the talent we have on this team, and we're finishing second. In the Austin Matthews video, I think after the first season, we never finished lower than 1. We literally were the best team in the entire league every single season. But with this Vegas team, we could never finish first. So we were pretty close to completing both of our goals. Jason Robinson, 39 goals, 39 assists, 78 points. Someone finally cracked the 30 goal mark, but he was just short of 82 points. I'll take 78 though. It's close enough. Meanwhile, Linus Ullmark's going to be an absolute beast this season. 46 wins, 6 shouts, a 911 save percentage, and a 253 goals against. Your regular season stats don't matter to me if you fold in the playoffs, but I don't expect you to fold. Also, Marc-Andre Fleury had more losses than wins. How are you not winning with that team in front of you? That just doesn't make sense. But none of that matters because we're in the postseason now, but we have ourselves a tough matchup in the first round. We got to take on the St. Louis Blues. But keep in mind, this team's without Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou, so there's no way they're going to succeed without their best player. We're headed to overtime in game 1. Not exactly what I was hoping for. And on top of this team heading into overtime in game 1, we're going to be dropping game 1 with a goal from Buchnevich. I took Thomas and Kyrou away from you guys, and you still found a way to win. The resilience on this team is just crazy. After picking up the next 2 games of the series, we're going to be heading back into overtime in game 4 as this one's tied 2-2. Once again in overtime, it looks like this Vegas Golden Knights team is just going to be folding to the superior St. Louis Blues team. Colton Pranko is going to be picking up the winner, and this series is tied at 2 games apiece. But without Robert Thomas, it's no surprise that the St. Louis Blues just aren't the same, and they're going to be falling 4 games to 2. But first, Jordan Kyrou has to finish it off with an empty netter. The St. Louis connection just has to end it. Moving on to our second round match, we're going to see the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Los Angeles Kings. Unlike the St. Louis Blues, the LA Kings aren't going to put up a fight whatsoever, and Vegas is going to be dominating them, taking them down in a 5-game series, and that includes a game 5 shutout from Allmark. So we've reached the conference finals once again, and we have a familiar foe here. The Colorado Avalanche. So far, we've faced Colorado in the conference finals twice. Both times we've beat them, we've went on to win the Stanley Cup. I think it's time for us to continue that. And that's exactly what we're doing. Although the Colorado Avalanche are putting up a bigger fight than the LA Kings did, it's the same result. We're taking them down in a shutout, but this time it's in 6 games. So we've reached the Stanley Cup final for the 3rd time in this video. Now we have the Boston Bruins, possibly the toughest team that we're going to have to go against. But keep in mind, they don't have Allmark anymore. I believe I gave them Robin Leonard in exchange for Allmark, so they still have like an 86, 87 overall in between the pipes, so this isn't going to be an easy task for us. Okay, so I just want to explain what happens here. We have a 3-0 lead in the series. We're currently down 2-1 in the game. There's 3:30 left in the game. I'm assuming, oh yeah, this team's going to lose this game. Or best case scenario, we tie it up in the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds, we head into overtime, right? So I'm just going to hit X and simulate the rest of the game. What could possibly happen? Oh, we're going to score 3 unanswered and win this game. Yeah, so we scored 4 goals in 5 minutes and 32 seconds, and then 3 goals in 2 minutes and 48 seconds. So we're not going to have the opportunity to jump into this one. It's a clean sweep for the Vegas Golden Knights, don't get me wrong, but I would have loved to jump into this last game. But it doesn't really matter. Robert Thomas isn't taking home the Conn Smythe. It's going to be Jake Getzel. We won 3 Stanley Cups in what, 6 years? Hey, I'll take it.